At some point in our lives, each of us will encounter a defining moment that challenges not only what we know, but also who we truly are. This kind of wisdom, the kind that shapes our character, can't be taught in classrooms or memorized from books. It's forged through the choices we make, the lessons we extract from adversity, and the victories we achieve after persevering through struggle. Today, we're embarking on a transformative journey to uncover how easily we can fall into patterns that stifle our growth without even realizing it. These patterns often manifest as subtle behaviors or habits that quietly undermine our progress. Our focus here isn't to judge, but to inspire growth, a chance to reflect deeply and recognize areas where change could lead to richer, more fulfilling lives. This isn't just another list. Think of it as holding up a mirror to yourself. As we explore these ideas together, I encourage you to engage fully. If you find value in what we discussed today, consider subscribing so you don't miss any part of this exploration. Every step of this process holds potential insights that might unlock new opportunities for personal evolution. Drawing from the timeless teachings of Stoic philosophy, we'll examine how embracing discomfort and cultivating courage can help us break free from self-imposed limitations and embrace meaningful transformation. Change is inevitable. It arrives with every sunrise. Yet so many of us resist it because it disrupts the familiar and forces us out of our comfort zones. But here's the truth. Resisting change doesn't shield us from its inevitability. It only robs us of growth, innovation, and unforeseen possibilities. Imagine life as a river, constantly flowing forward. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot control everything life throws at us, we always retain power over how we respond. Fighting change is like trying to stop a river with your hands. It's futile and leaves you frustrated and exhausted. Reflect on moments when you resisted change. Perhaps it was starting a new job, relocating to an unfamiliar place, or adjusting to a different routine. At first, those shifts might have felt overwhelming. But looking back, how did your resistance shape the experience? Often, when we lean into change instead of pushing against it, we discover fresh perspectives and opportunities that allow us to thrive in ways we never anticipated. So why do we cling to the status quo? Fear plays a significant role, not just fear of the unknown, but also fear of losing comfort or control. Yet Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies within, in our ability to adapt, accept, and remain resilient despite external uncertainties. Embracing change doesn't mean surrendering to circumstances beyond our influence. Instead, it means taking ownership of how we navigate transitions, making deliberate choices aligned with our values and aspirations. Consider changes in your workplace, new technologies, evolving processes, or shifting priorities. Adapting to them isn't merely about keeping pace with industry trends, it's an opportunity for personal development. By mastering new systems or strategies, you're not just contributing to organizational success, you're enhancing your own skill set and future prospects. The next time you face change, pause and ask yourself, what is fueling my resistance? Is it fear? Or is there a valid concern worth addressing? How can I use this change to grow and align with my deeper goals? When you approach life's challenges with curiosity rather than resistance, you stop simply surviving the currents of existence. You start navigating them with purpose, using change as a catalyst for creating a more intentional and rewarding life. One common habit that holds us back is our tendency to look outward when things go wrong. Blaming others provides a temporary escape from confronting our own shortcomings, but it ultimately keeps us stuck. True progress begins when we turn inward and take responsibility for our actions. Blaming others may seem like a harmless act in the moment, but it carries the power to quietly dismantle the very foundation of our personal growth. At first glance, shifting responsibility might offer a fleeting sense of relief, shielding our ego from discomfort. Yet, over time, this habit erodes the strength of everything we've worked so hard to build: our confidence, our relationships, and our ability to shape our own future. Every time we point a finger elsewhere, we surrender a piece of our agency, relinquishing the power to define our path forward. Stoicism teaches us that true empowerment lies in focusing on what we can control: our reactions, our choices, and our actions. Letting go of external factors beyond our influence allows us to step into our full potential. When we take ownership of how we respond to challenges, we reclaim our authority and purpose. On the other hand, blaming others creates barriers that damage connections, foster negativity, and block opportunities for learning. It's a temporary escape that ultimately keeps us trapped in cycles of stagnation. This philosophy isn't about denying emotions or excusing others' mistakes. It's about recognizing that the only thing we truly have dominion over is ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers and a Roman emperor who faced immense challenges, often emphasized turning obstacles into opportunities. He believed that the very hurdles blocking our way become the road to progress when approached with the right mindset. By letting go of blame and examining our role in life's difficulties, we unlock lessons that transform setbacks into stepping stones toward wisdom and resilience. Consider a project that fails to meet expectations. The instinct might be to fault the team, poor timing, or insufficient resources. But imagine instead asking yourself, what could I have done differently? Did I communicate clearly? Was I fully prepared to lead? This kind of honest introspection demands courage and humility. Yet it holds the key to genuine growth. Accepting responsibility not only equips us with insights to improve, but also deepens our character and broadens our understanding of life. It cultivates compassion and empathy, reminding us that imperfection is universal. We all stumble, and we all have room to grow. This perspective reshapes how we interact with others, fostering richer, more supportive relationships. As you continue your journey of self-improvement, pause before pointing fingers. Reflect deeply on your part in any situation. What lesson does this experience hold for you? Growth doesn't stem from perfection. It arises from evolution. The willingness to learn, adapt, and refine our approach through every challenge. Life unfolds as a series of lessons, each offering an opportunity to hone who we are. Mistakes aren't failures, they're invitations to develop greater self-awareness and resilience. Embrace them as tools for transformation rather than reasons to assign blame. In communication too, the same principle applies. Have you ever been in a conversation where your words felt unheard? Where the other person seemed more intent on speaking than listening? This dynamic stifles connection and inhibits growth for both parties. True dialogue thrives on mutual exchange, where listening plays a central role. The Stoics valued listening above speaking, understanding that we possess 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason: to listen twice as much as we speak. Listening isn't passive. It's an active engagement with another's thoughts and feelings, requiring patience, openness, and curiosity. By embracing accountability, not just in our actions but also in our interactions, we open doors to deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and a life marked by continuous growth. So, the next time you feel the urge to cast blame or dominate a conversation, pause. Ask yourself, what am I missing here? What can I learn? In those moments of reflection lies the seed of meaningful change. When we truly listen, when we immerse ourselves in the words, emotions, and perspectives of others, we uncover insights that illuminate not only their world, but ours as well. By doing so, we communicate respect, empathy, and a genuine desire to learn, laying the foundation for relationships rooted in trust and mutual understanding. Yet, the impulse to interrupt or dominate conversations often arises from an underlying need to assert control or validate our own worth. True confidence, however, doesn't silence others. It embraces humility, recognizing the strength in listening and valuing differing viewpoints. When we acknowledge that we don't hold all the answers, we open ourselves to a universe of new ideas, knowledge, and experiences. In professional settings, this principle becomes even more vital. A leader who consistently interrupts their team may initially project authority, but over time, such behavior breeds frustration, disengagement, and stifled creativity. Conversely, a leader who listens cultivates an atmosphere where innovation, initiative, and collaboration flourish. Effective leadership hinges on presence, on actively hearing your team, understanding their challenges, and offering meaningful support. So how do we sharpen our listening skills? It begins with intentionality. Before entering a conversation, Remind yourself of the inherent value in what the other person has to say. Resist the urge to mentally rehearse your response while they're speaking. Instead, focus entirely on comprehending their perspective. Ask thoughtful questions, reflect on their words, and engage deeply. These small yet transformative practices can elevate your interactions, making them more productive and enriching for everyone involved. The Stoics understood the profound power of silence, not as emptiness, but as a space for attentive engagement. In moments of quiet, we create room for others to express themselves fully, deepening our understanding of their thoughts and feelings. This practice also connects us with our inner wisdom, fostering self-awareness and clarity. Empathy, in its most authentic form, bridges divides and nurtures relationships. It is the quiet strength that enables us to transcend differences, forging bonds of compassion and shared humanity. Without empathy, we struggle to relate, connect, and grow together. Stoic philosophy champions empathy because it equips us to navigate life's complexities with fairness, kindness, and insight. Consider a manager who overlooks the mounting stress his team endures during a high-pressure deadline. His lack of empathy leads to burnout, plummeting morale, and diminished productivity. On the other hand, a leader who empathizes, understanding and addressing the emotional needs of their team, fosters a culture of support, resilience, and excellence. Empathy isn't merely about being kind, it's about being effective. It inspires loyalty, encourages cooperation, and builds enduring connections. To nurture empathy, start by stepping into someone else's shoes. Ask yourself, what might this person be feeling? What challenges are they facing? These reflective questions deepen your understanding of others and guide you to respond with patience and compassion. Additionally, by recalling your own experiences, recognizing that you too have faced struggles, joys, and disappointments, you can forge a stronger emotional connection with those around you. This shared understanding strengthens bonds and fosters more compassionate interactions. Ultimately, listening and empathy stand among the most potent tools for personal growth and meaningful connection. When we genuinely listen and remain open to diverse perspectives, we enhance both our relationships and our individual development. Stoicism teaches us that the path to wisdom isn't about achieving perfection. It's about remaining open, reflective, and committed to continual improvement. Turning fear into growth. The Stoic way. Fear and failure are universal experiences, inevitable companions on the journey of life. They can feel like anchors, tethering us to comfort zones and discouraging exploration. But here lies the pivotal truth. Our response to these forces defines the trajectory of our lives. The fear of failure looms large, casting shadows of doubt and hesitation. Yet, Stoicism offers a guiding light, urging us to reframe fear not as a barrier, but as an opportunity, a catalyst for growth. It warns us to tread carefully, to choose safety over risk, or even to avoid taking action altogether. It murmurs doubts about our abilities and magnifies the perceived costs of effort. Yet here lies the paradox. In shielding ourselves from failure, we inadvertently seal off the path to our greatest achievements. The Stoic philosophers offer a profound perspective on this matter. They remind us that it is not external events themselves that unsettle us, but rather the meaning we assign to them. Fear of failure isn't rooted in the act of failing, it's tied to the narratives we construct around it. If we view failure as catastrophic, it will feel insurmountable. However, if we reframe it as an opportunity for growth, it becomes a stepping stone toward wisdom and progress. The Stoics urge us to scrutinize our thoughts and fears with care. What exactly do we dread about failure? Are these fears based in reality, or are they inflated by our imagination? Recall moments when hesitation held you back. Was it fear of falling short that stopped you? Now envision what might have transpired had you failed. Would the outcome truly have matched your worst expectations? More often than not, we discover that the fallout from failure is far less severe than we imagined. Even in failure, we gain invaluable insights that make us stronger and wiser. Failure rarely signifies defeat. Instead, it represents experience, a crucial ingredient for mastery. Take, for instance, the entrepreneur paralyzed by the thought of launching a business, or the writer too timid to share their work. Their reluctance keeps them stagnant, denying them the chance to learn and grow. Each misstep carries lessons that sharpen judgment, build resilience, and pave the way for eventual triumph. This aligns seamlessly with the Stoic ideal of resilience. The Stoics didn't preach avoidance of hardship. They emphasized the power to rise each time we stumble. Fear of failure shouldn't dictate our lives. Instead, it can rob us of fulfillment, leaving us burdened by regret, not for the actions we took, but for the chances we let slip away. The Stoics believed in living harmoniously with nature, embracing its unpredictability and risks. By confronting our fear of failure, we align ourselves with courage and purpose. One powerful Stoic practice is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of adversity. This involves vividly imagining the worst-case scenario and preparing mentally for it. When we engage in this exercise, we often realize we're far more capable of enduring setbacks than we assumed. Paradoxically, the anticipation of failure can be more paralyzing than failure itself. This mental preparation not only alleviates anxiety, but equips us to face challenges head-on. So how do we begin dismantling this fear? Start small. Set achievable goals that involve calculated risks. Each minor victory bolsters confidence and diminishes the apprehension surrounding larger endeavors. Reflecting on past failures is equally transformative. Looking back, we frequently recognize that the lessons gleaned from those experiences propelled us forward in future pursuits. Consider those who exude unshakable confidence. Confidence has its place, yet there exists a fine line between healthy assurance and overconfidence. Overconfidence obscures our limitations, setting the stage for avoidable mistakes. True strength lies in balancing self-belief with humility, recognizing both our potential and our vulnerabilities. Imagine strolling through a neighborhood you know like the back of your hand, so fixated on reaching your destination that you overlook the caution tape signaling an unstable sidewalk ahead. The Stoics remind us that genuine confidence isn't about silencing self-doubt. It's about embracing it as a tool to interrogate and refine our beliefs and capabilities. They gifted us the dichotomy of control, a framework for discerning what lies within our power and what does not. Overconfidence tricks us into believing we have dominion over far more than we truly do, setting the stage for unforeseen setbacks. It is not merely an innocuous quirk in a coworker. It's a psychological barrier with profound consequences. Misguided decisions, collapsed projects, and fractured relationships. In both professional and personal realms, overconfidence can isolate us by discouraging collaboration and deepening errors. The Stoic antidote to overconfidence doesn't strip away self-esteem, but instead nurtures equilibrium between confidence and humility. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, often reflected on the value of listening to others and confronting one's imperfections. To him, overconfidence was hubris, a perilous flaw that alienates us from others and warps our perception of reality. His remedy? Self-reflection and lifelong learning. No matter how vast our knowledge, there's always room to expand it. Cultivating self-awareness anchors us in truth, shielding us from the perils of inflated egos. A practical starting point is welcoming feedback. When someone critiques our work, defensiveness may creep in, but every critique is a gift, offering clarity on how we can improve. Another vital practice is carving out time for reflection. Ask yourself daily, what succeeded today? What faltered? How can I grow tomorrow? This process roots confidence in tangible accomplishments while leaving space for progress. Engaging with diverse perspectives is equally crucial. Overconfidence thrives in echo chambers where ideas go unchallenged. By seeking viewpoints different from our own, we not only curb arrogance, but also enrich our empathy and understanding, qualities essential for fostering meaningful connections. At its core, a Stoic mindset acknowledges that success is transient and failure inevitable. Recognizing our fallibility, that missteps are part of being human, helps temper overconfidence. Each failure becomes less a blow to pride and more a lesson in growth. a reminder that development is ongoing. This outlook doesn't just shield us from the dangers of overconfidence. It fortifies resilience and adaptability. By viewing failure as integral to the journey, we emerge stronger and better equipped for future challenges. So let's persist, learn, and remember. True wisdom resides in navigating success and failure with poise. Stay grounded, stay humble, and embrace the path forward with wisdom.